what's poppin', y'all? A rapper just got thrown into the All-Star game, and it's for making comments on my GOAT, Lil Wayne. And first, I'm gonna play you guys the clip, and this erupted. This became the biggest conversation before Vlad came and snatched that, but that's a topic for a different video that I already recorded, so that will come out, unlike different times where I said that may come out, which will probably not happen. So let me play you guys that first clip, and this is Lar Russell talking about Lil Wayne after signing to Jay-Z. Keep in mind, the caption of things is very important.
Yeah, I gotta respect
he had a conviction.
I
had a moment in my journey where I had grew a disdain for Wayne just because I started listening to everything. Like, I started maturing as a human, and I'm like, damn, this wasn't talking about nothing for a long time. And
I think that's what his argument was.
You know, like, as someone who like grew up in these communities, right, and grew up with homies who I seen want to be Bloods because they following Wayne and want to be gangster and want to shoot all the gun bar. And
right.
Like, I've seen the negative that he contributed to the community, and I had to look like, man, what are the songs where he really talked about something and gave? And out of 1,000-song catalog, you know, it's minute on this end.
It's like Georgia Bush.
And that do bother me. Tie My Hands.
That's what I was going to say. Tie My Hands is the only one I can think of.
And that's the thing. It's like, if I hug you once, but I slap the shit out you 1,000 times, you know, your affinity for me is going, you're probably going to remember me for this. And a lot of people don't, you know, as I mature, a lot of my old favorite artists, I'm now like, damn. Yeah. Like, I love you because I learned how to rap to you, but when you look at the contribution, it's like, man.
This is not a hot take whatsoever. Like, if somebody was listening to a full podcast and they heard this take, they're like, okay, and they're just watching it. It's not a hot take whatsoever. He shows appreciation for Wayne. He's not lying. Yeah, a lot of people were bloodying up off of Lil Wayne. That's a fact. A lot of people thought he made that seem like the coolest thing ever. But this would get 3 million views, and a bunch of people start listing different songs, but this is where it starts to spin off. Because first, Adam22 quote tweets this. And this guy, Lar Russell, he's an independent rapper from the Bay Area. So Cali rappers, Adam22 is like proficient at these guys. He's at least heard of damn near every single one that exists. And he quotes and says, "You shouldn't clown Lar Russell for this lame take." Now, this is the problem. A lot of people, they replied with songs where they feel like Wayne was a rapper of depth. But this is one of the other things. Hey, yo, Wayne is my GOAT, but I'm not going to come up here and say, yeah, you know, Wayne was rapping about a lot like Lupe Fiasco or a Mos Def. Like, let's be for real here. So when somebody else says it and it just gets clipped up in a different way, suddenly he's getting a ton of hate. I don't get it. But let's say they name 15 songs, right? Wayne's got a big catalog. And Wayne himself was talking about, like, yeah, you know, like if you want to, you know, learn how to live your life, learn that on your own. Don't listen to my raps. But Adam22 would continue and say, you should clown him because he makes kids bop rap that is propped up by fake views and paid promo. And he continues and says, I'm not even fully hating. He seems like a smart guy, but his music is, and the idea that it is popular is a myth. Now, I don't think anybody has ever put forth the idea that Lar Russell was a very, very popular artist. I think the notion around Lar Russell is that this guy is very, very effective at staying independent, at monetizing the people that do like him, despite however small that number may be. Because, for example, Lefty Gunplay, right? Let's take Lefty Gunplay. This guy was on a Kendrick Lamar record that won a Grammy. He was popping. He was on he had motion, right? As like Adam22 would call it. Well, who do you think has more money? Lefty Gunplay or Lar Russell off of their music? Come on, we know the answer to that. Lar Russell. So the idea that a rapper's, and Adam22's interviewed a ton of poppin' rappers, even from LA, that are still struggling. So being popular and your music being popular does not necessarily mean that it is well monetized. And Lar Russell is definitely, let me put it this way. If Adam22 liked Lar Russell, I would be in shock. Like, come on, let's be real here. Like, do you think Adam22 liked Lupe Fiasco? Come on now. Hey, Adam22, one of his favorite rappers was Gucci Mane. And peak Gucci Mane. So we're talking about Death and Destruction. Adam22 likes the Death and Destruction. I mean, he was a metalhead too, wasn't he? So the taste that Adam 22 has, drugs, darkness, that type of aura, it does not lead itself to, like, yo, I can't imagine Adam 22 playing Happy by Pharrell. I just can't. So, granted, it makes sense that he has this take, but if the guy has fake views, but he's got real money, how does that add up? Like Money Man, that guy's, the views are frauded. I don't know where the bread is coming from. But this guy, Lar Russell, is quite transparent. So you can see, like, hell, I did a show. It costed me this much. So this guy's really impressive. If you're saying his music sucks, he's not popular, but he's got a good business going. Continuing on. This is what really spread even more. And it was this tweet that said, damn, I ain't know this dude Lar Russell was a lame B. Dissing Wayne, he did not diss Wayne at all because he only sold 35 tickets in New Orleans. Don't nobody want to hear them Sesame Street raps, boy. Get the F out of here. And then Lar Russell even addresses it and says, comprehension be at an all-time low. People ain't even watched the clip, just reacting. I am a fan of Wayne. I can rap this man verses bar for bar. I'm also a grown man who can understand what's being said in the songs now in a way I couldn't when I was 17. Y'all losers for spreading propaganda. Got whole smear campaigns against me now. Y'all won't win. I'm somebody who can communicate. So this is the thing. He starts this guy says that's not what he said in that clip, and he spelled clip with a K. That just goes to show you, of course he doesn't have reading comprehension. But this hater post, so now the narrative starts to become that this guy Lar Russell is hating on Wayne. You see how quickly that shifts. So Lar Russell, he has a bunch of different content distribution. So he does podcasts. This guy does everything under the sun. This is a really busy guy. He makes himself really busy. So he drops and says, full context, case closed, wrap it up. The media will have you making an enemy out of the hero. Wheezy, I love you. Good day, losers. So I'm going to play you guys the clip that he put out here.
Then I found Lil Wayne. One of the homies put me on Wayne, and it was like bars. I used to have a notebook, just bars.
What was your introduction to Wayne?
So there's two introductions to Wayne. Yeah. There's an introduction to Wayne that's through culture and your parents that you have no merit in.
Right.
And then there's an introduction when you get to like dive. And mine's, I think it was like the Drought 2. And that was like my reintroduction to like, man, dedication mixtapes, the Droughts. Like I just got immersed.
No ceilings.
Man, this was pre No Ceilings.
Yeah.
I mean, the Carter 1 and Carter 2 were amazing.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're like positively talking about Lil Wayne because our last guest shit on Lil Wayne so hard.
I love Wayne so much, but I understand how someone could be like, man, this isn't the Wayne that like I remember.
Right.
You know?
No.
I had a moment in my journey where I had grew a disdain for Wayne just because I started listening to everything. Like I started maturing as a human, and I'm like, damn, I love you because I learned how to rap to you. But when you look at the contribution, it's like, man. But he was also a kid.
True. Yeah,
Wayne was a kid.
Yeah.
He was like 14, 15 when he came out.
Man, a kid.
Like, because think about it, he was dropped out of school at 13 years old. Like,
right.
You're just like,
and he was adopted by gangsters, indoctrinated to a whole
adopted
system.
by the projects. Yeah.
It was like he gave everything he could, and I love Wayne.
So that's what segued into the clip. But even then, it goes on. This one gets 65K views because, of course, it's not going to make waves like the one where they're saying that he's hating on Wayne. And this is crazy because I'm somebody that's been fair about Wayne. Like I said, I put the Carter 5 as a classic album, especially after the time that has passed. That is a classic album. A lot of people disagree with me. A lot of people have been saying Wayne sucks, Wayne sucks, Wayne sucks, Wayne sucks, Wayne sucks for the past 14 years. Yes. The Wayne is trash thing started. There were people when the Carter 4 came out that said this is a piece of garbage. Nothing's been good since the Carter 3. So the Wayne sucks narrative has been going on since post No Ceilings. I've lived through all of this. I was a really, really, really young buck, but I lived through this. And I remember when people were calling Rick Ross and Lil Wayne trash, but that's a different story. So people are calling everything Lil Wayne drops trash. And if you asked them like, yo, what does Lil Wayne rap about? PMW, Pussy Money Weed, they would have agreed. But it's because it's this guy saying it, suddenly, I don't even know. Suddenly they just come to the defense of Wayne, which is something that Wayne wouldn't even defend. And this reminds me of when OG Macko first blew up. This reminds me of two different instances. Russ, about the Xans thing, that Xans t-shirt, like, yo, how many drugs you got to do before you find out you're a loser, when the drug thing was the wave. And the OG Macko situation when he was talking about and calling out people like Future for getting people hooked on pills and saying like, yo, you're not even doing the drugs. How are you going to make music about it? And people just hated on OG Macko. That was just it. And didn't make any sense, but this is what happens. People's cognitive dissonance just goes into overdrive. They're like, wait, guy whose music we don't listen to, and we listen to his music, we don't like it. It's not for us. We don't like him. We like the other guy. Therefore, it doesn't matter what that guy says. He could say the right thing. He could say something that is balanced. We don't care. Attack him because we interpret the other guy as, some guy that we think is cool. So Lar Russell, he's walking down a hilly place. This got to be the Bay. Is this San Francisco? I've never... The amount of hills, it's like you're walking up 50-degree incline in San Francisco. No wonder why they don't really got that much fat people like that. Like, walking around San Francisco you will not be fat. Good luck doing that. But I'm going to play you guys this clip where he calls out a bunch of these pages.
I'm finna blow the whistle on the industry real quick. In the industry, is two forms of marketing that's used heavily. It's seeding and it's clipping. Whenever you see academics, say cheese, rap, bars, etc., all posting the same thing around the same time with the same narrative, that's a seeding campaign. That means someone gave them a budget and some content and a narrative to spread to the world. These two things have been monumental and beneficial to artists like myself as well, because whenever I have a viral moment, I'm able to mass distribute the moment to the world. On the flip side of that, most of these places don't have no integrity. So as long as you got the budget, you could get them to post anything and use their platform. Yesterday, probably like 20, 30 platforms across Instagram and Twitter all posted the same clip of me at the same time with the same narrative. 30 thinking the same thing, watching the same interview at the same time. None of them have ever posted anything from me. They ain't posted when I paid rent in my hood. They ain't post when I bought our restaurants. They ain't post when I helped these kids. They ain't post nothing I've ever done. But randomly, they all watching this interview and decided we should post this. And the title says, Lar Russell says this about Lil Wayne after signing to Jay-Z. What the f*** that got to do with anything? That's somebody with a budget and content and a narrative saying, hey, go run this. Want to try to tarnish what a built, but you can't. The problem is God chose me. Man can't stop what God put in motion. They doing everything they can because I did everything they can't. I broke the system. I made it from my backyard. It ain't ironic that all of a sudden it's talking about Lar Russell everywhere at the same time with the same narrative. It'll never work. I'm from the Bay. Break the internet. The internet don't break me. In the words of the great Dwayne Carter, real with me and I don't give a who don't. And could spin it however, but my message wasn't even out of malice. I love Wayne. I wouldn't be the rapper I am today without. He inspired me to do so much. He inspired me to have bars. But he also inspired me to smoke weed, sip lean, shoot guns, all those things. And I turned out great. But that's the power of being influential. I love Wayne, y'all. I just want my fans to know, buckle up. You feel me? I'm finna take this on one. And clearly somebody got a problem with that. Somebody putting their money up to have a problem with that.
This is the problem. Lar Russell can explain this. Number one, it won't reach the people that buy into this. And number two, they may even deny it. So Say Cheese responds and says, man, nobody paid us a dime. Stop crying because social media is cooking you and take it like a champ. Nobody is out to get you. Now, this can be true. So what usually happens is it can be seeded or it can be a campaign. But what I want to ask Lar Russell is who in their right mind would be spending a budget of tens of thousands of dollars, that's the least it's going to cost to run something like this, to tear you down? what beef do you have with people? It doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't think anybody else can, make sense of it. Do I think a couple of people have done something? And it's odd that this is right after the Rock Nation thing and him signing to Jay-Z. Yes, I do think that's a little bit odd. And Say Cheese saying that they didn't get paid to post it does not mean that nobody got paid to post it, because it's a good post. It creates good engagement, good conversation. Lil Wayne and Lar Russell, who the hell is Lar Russell? That's the first thing. And people have probably just heard about him from the Jay-Z situation. So they're like, hold on, this new guy coming into town. Keep in mind, remember when Russ first did that Vlad interview and he was first getting into hip-hop media when he got signed? He had a big fan base. He was already really successful. He was getting a lot of almost unanimous love because it was just his fan base that was exposed to him, which is something that Lar Russell's going through right now. And then once he got into the rap game and he started to get posted to the masses, an influx of hate came. So that's what Lar Russell is having to deal with right now. But let's say a couple of pages post it, somebody on Say Cheese, Sean Khan's like, damn, this is a banger post. He's just going to throw it up. So he doesn't have to get paid to post it. But like I said earlier, I'll give you guys the answer of what I think is happening. I believe that Rock Nation is doing this, or whatever management is being run by Lar Russell. So you have to balance out negative and positive. So they're looking at it where Lar Russell's, you can't create conversation about this guy's so great, this guy's so great. No. Even within pop, you got to have flops like, oh man, Arianator's flopped. Like Selena, I forgot, what were her fans? So I don't even know. But regardless, you have to have them beefing with each other. Oh, this person flopped. Oh, your person sucks. Oh no, our person's going to come back. Oh man, this album's not good. So you need a balance of hate and love. Now the problem, and this is the same playbook, if I had to guess, whoever's running the marketing for this Lar Russell situation ever since he got signed is potentially the same person that ran, or the same group of people that ran Doechii. But I just think Doechii's hate got way too big. Like her hate, like it's a seesaw, right? And they're trying to balance 50% love and support, because love and support is never as loud, and then 50% hate. But the 50% hate is kind of amplified, so it always feels like a 30-70 split. But you want the fan bases, the numbers, to split down the middle. So I think they're trying to create that for Lar Russell. So how many people are being exposed to Lar Russell right now that have never seen him before? And how many people will check out his music and be like, you know what? This is a positive guy. This is actually a pretty cool guy. You know what? I like his music maybe. Those people aren't going to be vocal about that. So it's the negativity that's going to bring up. But what's dangerous is that Lar Russell does not have a smash hit like Doechii had. Doechii had a smash hit, but people were also annoyed with not only how the hit was released, but what it remixed. And they were just annoyed by the hit in general. They were kind of like, yo, we're tired of this song. This is an annoying song. But that is an example of them balancing and creating hate, because you need to create hate. You cannot succeed without hate. You have to have it. Drake has it. J. Cole, he does have it. You guys remember double platinum with no features. J. Cole becoming like the butt of the joke of everything. Kendrick Lamar, I think he's avoided it a little bit, but there's always been Kendrick Lamar doubters. And the competition is also another way to create quote unquote hate, but you just got to keep conversation going. And as long as the conversation is on this guy, it's good. And it's even better because what it does is now the fans that have been with him this whole time, they see him as this treasure that they've got to protect. So they're looking at it like, yo, these guys are misinterpreting Lar Russell. They don't know what he's about. So it strengthens his fan base to have a hater base that's being cultivated as well. Because prior to him being this popular or being this spread out, if you didn't like his music, you would just scroll past it. There wasn't any incentive, engagement-wise, to talk about it. But now there is, especially when it attaches to Lil Wayne. So this is very, very entertaining and interesting to see. And it will be very, very interesting to see how he handles this coming into the rap game, because he's got an interesting approach, which I'll cover in a different video, especially with this album that he's been trying to sell like 100K copies in 30 days, and that didn't work out, so he extended it to 60 days. So we're going to talk about that in a separate video for sure. So make sure to tune in for that and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. What is your Lil Wayne song that makes you feel the most, actually? I'm gonna say for me, it's gotta be, is this even a Lil Wayne song? It was heartbreaking when I found out the reference track was when the whole thing was written by Drake. It was She Will before, but if we're just talking just Lil Wayne, it would probably be I Feel Like Dying. I Feel Like Dying, man, I love that track. If I find a reference track for that from Drake too, that's just a goat at that point. Like, whoa, what am I gonna say? But yeah, let me know y'all's in the comments, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.